Did it start?
No, yeah, it's on right now, so we're gonna start. So, okay, ready? All right. Okay, ready? Okay, we're just gonna go. Okay.
That's what I was waiting on.
Okay, ready? Go. Okay. Hey everybody, it's Caitlin and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with my younger brother Andrew, which if you guys have been watching my videos for any length of time really, you'll probably recognize him. He's been in a few videos with me before. We've done different challenges and tags and fun stuff like that. I'm going to link one of them down below, which is our last video. The first video we filmed was pretty cringeworthy, so I'm not going to link to that, but the last one we did was really funny. Andrew had to guess the plot of some of my books just by looking at the cover, and that was a really hilarious video, so I'll link to that below if you guys want to go check that out when you are done watching this one. Today we are going to be doing kind of like a challenge, but I've not seen anyone else do it, but I just thought it would be fun. I'm going to be giving Andrew some writer/reader terms that a non-writer would not necessarily know. Now I have probably used all these terms at some point and Andrew's heard me use them, but we're going to actually see if he really does know what they mean today. Shout out to all of you guys who sent me some suggestions for him to try to guess, because I asked you all on Twitter to give me some words to use and I got a bunch of suggestions, so thank you to all of you guys who gave me some terms for him to guess. Alright, you ready? Alright, so let's begin. The first term that Andrew is going, or the first word Andrew is going to be guessing is WIP, and it is an acronym for something.
Writer in progress.
It does stand for something in progress.
Work in progress.
Yes! Work in progress. So what do you think like that means? Like, you got it, but what does that mean? Like, what's a work in progress? In the writer world.
Writing a book, but you haven't finished?
Yeah, so like the book that you're currently writing is your WIP or your work in progress. I'm really impressed. So he got one. That's pretty good. Good start. Alright, so the second one is also an acronym and it's TBR.
To be read?
Yes, good job. So like if you know, your TBR pile is like the books that you still have to read, which mine is ridiculous. It is that shelf and that shelf and that shelf down there. All of those books. There are 50 books on my TBR, fun fact. Alright, the next one is debut.
That's like when you first make your appearance.
Okay, but like in the writing world, like if it's someone's debut.
That's like when their first book comes out and they're like with their book and they're making their debut of their book.
Yeah, it could be like, so if it's someone's, I mean like, sometimes, okay, so in terms of the book, a person's debut is like the first book that gets published. So like if, you know, my first book gets published, like let's say it's What Lies Above, that would be like my debut novel. So whoever's first book that gets published is their debut. Alright, the fourth one is querying, and you should get this one because I talk about it all the time.
It's when you send like a short explanation of your book to agents and you query them.
Yeah, so it's like in pursuit of getting a literary agent, you send them a query letter.
Kind of like a job application.
Exactly, like yeah, exactly. Perfect. A job application for books. Okay, the next one is an epilogue.
Something that comes at the beginning, like the beforehand.
That's a prologue, so it's an epilogue.
Pro means after in Latin.
No, I don't know. A prologue comes at the beginning of the book, so what is the epilogue, you think?
The end of the book?
Yeah, so like at the end of Mockingjay, you know, whenever it's like her and yeah, and then with the kid, yeah, that's the epilogue. Okay? Alright, so next is an
no, it's
not too long. Okay, what is an R and R? R and R is an acronym. What do the two R's stand for?
Read and something. I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. I don't know if you'll know this. I don't know if this will be helpful. But whenever I was first querying What Lies Above, an agent asked me to do an R and R. So I did something like in the process to the book.
Something in revise?
Yeah, revise and... So after
Return?
I revised it, yeah, resubmit. So revise and resubmit. So like an R and R is where if an agent likes your book, but they don't necessarily like it exactly the way it is, or they want to offer representation, they'll say like an R, ask for an R and R, and then you revise it and you can resubmit it to them, and they'll reconsider. So yeah, good job. Okay, the next one, actually, our dad gave me this one as a suggestion, which I'm really surprised about that he even knew what this means. So shout out to him. But what is an advance in writing? Like an author's advance. Or like advances. This is a hard one. This is why I said I was surprised Dad knew it.
I have no idea.
Okay, so like advances are not profits, but it's like a check or about an amount of money that an author gets in advance of their book's publication. And generally it's so that they can keep writing, like if that, while they're writing another book or whatever until their book comes out, and then they don't have to pay it back. But once they publish the book, they don't get any real profits until it is paid back. So like if let's say they get an advance of like $5,000, or I don't know, that's just a figment, but like $5,000, then once they make $5,000, they start making profit, but if they never make that, they just get to keep it. So that's an advance. All right, the next one is RAC. I usually refer to it as an ARC, which you should know what this is, because I was talking about this summer.
You said RAC, then you said ARC. That's ARC.
What did I say before?
RAC.
Whatever. ARC. An ARC. What is an ARC?
I think Noah went on.
No.
But it
ARC,
is.
that's ARK.
That's the same thing.
No, like a book, like an ARC book. They don't really call it an ARC book, but... I was telling you that I got an ARC this summer that I was really excited for. And I told you I got an ARC. I was reading it on the plane, I told you the other day.
Oh, that little author who sent you her book before it even came out.
Yeah, she didn't send it to me, but I got the ARC. Yeah, okay, yeah. So an ARC, what do you think it stands for, though? It's a book. I'll give you what it is. It's a book that you read, that like bloggers or other writers read, and it's before the book comes out. So what do you think ARC stands for? I'll give you the hint. The A stands for advanced.
Advanced Reader's Copy.
Yes, good job. All those books behind you are all ARCs right here. Yeah, that's the one I was reading. Alright, so the next one is, and I kind of already mentioned this earlier, so maybe that'll give you a hint. What are royalties?
Like things you get for, like special things you get for being a writer.
It has to do with advances, sort of. It has to do with money, like in writing.
Like money you get for publishing books?
Yeah, so like your royalties are like your money that you're paid for your amount of books. So it's like a percentage of your profit is your royalties, so what you make as the author. Alright, next is like probably the most used acronym in writing, and that is MC. What do you think MC stands for? You want me to use it in a sentence, like a spelling bee?
Can you give me the spelling of it?
No. MC, that's just to spell it. Okay, it's like, let me use it in a sentence. If you say like, okay, for What Lies Above, okay, this is gonna give it away, but like for What Lies Above, my MC's name is Eva.
Main character.
Yes, main character. Okay, so the next one is, what does MS stand for in writing? It's like a really common word. Think of an abbreviation for a really common word in writing. Cure. What is like the book called that you're writing? But it's like...
Main copy? You say MS or MC?
MS. I don't usually refer to it and say like, oh, my
Manuscript?
MS. Yeah, manuscript. That's what it stands for. So usually like if people are talking about it on Twitter or if they want an abbreviation for it, they'll just say like, my MS. Then that stands for manuscript. Alright, the next one is POV. What do you think POV stands for?
Point of view.
Yes, good job. So then what do you think dual POV stands for?
Different point of view.
Dual point of view.
Like the opposite point of view.
What does the word dual mean?
To fight.
No, like dual, not like...
Dual.
Not like... Like, a dual point of view means like, okay, What Lies Above is a dual point of view.
2 points.
Yeah, so there's like two
There
narrators.
should be a duo point.
There's like two main characters who are narrating.
Dose point of view.
And it like alternates. That's what like dual. Dual is like alternating. Moving on. Okay, so the next one is an aesthetic, which if you're a writer, this is like a really popular thing, but you like, we'll see what you think it means.
Aesthetic is like the theme. Like what
sort of, but like it's... Okay, no,
aesthetic
that's what
is
aesthetic
art.
means, but like, an aesthetic in art is like a theme, but for writers it's a specific thing that captures the theme.
Oh.
It refers to an actual thing. I'll give you...
Specific.
You give up.
Yeah.
Okay, so in aesthetic, I'll actually show you a picture, Andrew, so you know. And then I'll put one up on the screen, or a few up here on the screen for you guys to see. But in aesthetic for writers is like a really popular thing where writers take different pictures that have the same kind of like color scheme, and then they put it into like a collage, and it like captures the theme of their novel or the main character. So like this is one that Abby made, and then, or Lindsay made that one, and Lindsay made this one, and then Abby made that one. So see, it's like pictures that kind of like capture the theme of your book, sort of. So you were good with like theme, but that is an aesthetic in the writer world. If people say like I made a new aesthetic, it's like a collage of pictures for their book that kind of captures the theme of their novel. All right, next is CP, and if you don't get this one,
critique partner.
Yes, critique partner, because I talk about my critique partners all the time. All right, next is a draft. This is easy.
Skip this one.
Alright, we'll just, he already knows what that one is. I had to throw you an easy one, okay? Alright, I didn't know you'd do so well on these. Alright, what is a platform? Like an author platform.
Like, where you're doing most of your, like, advertising, like Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah,
Twitter.
yeah, exactly. So it's like a social media platform is like your, like, it's, I hate to put it like this, but it's like your followers, your following. It's like the platform that you have as an author. So yeah, a lot of times it's in social media or stuff like that. All right, so we're getting close to the end. This is actually a suggestion from somebody. I would never have thought of this one. What is a book hangover?
You just write too much. You just hungover.
No, it has more to do with reading than it does writing.
You read too much? You read too much?
It has more to... Oh, yeah, okay. No, it's not like that. It's like, okay, so it's like if you read a really, really good book and you stay up, like, really late at night, and then you just read it all in one sitting, and then whenever you wake up the next day, you say, like, you have a book hangover. It's like where you're still...
That's not a thing.
Yes, it is. I guarantee you it is a thing.
I don't want to hear any of you viewers say that ever.
It is a thing.
Ever.
Okay, comment down below if you have ever heard someone say they have a book hangover. This is a thing. It is a thing. It's like where if you wake up then you have like, you're like still thinking about the book and you don't want to, then you're in like a book slump, which is another term, and like you don't want to go to a different book to read. I don't use this term, but it is a real term. Other people use.
There's only going to be like 2 comments.
Yeah, no.
One of them's going to be from you.
Alright, the next one is what is a plotter versus a pantser?
What? Pineapples.
Like,
Skip it.
This is for like writing, if you're a plotter or a pantser.
A pantser?
Yeah, okay, what do you think a plotter is? It like literally has the
like,
word in it.
Plots things.
Yes, what do you think a pantser is?
Someone who does the opposite of plotting.
Yeah, so like a plotter is someone who's very like detail oriented and they have like an outline and they plot everything beforehand. A pantser is someone who does things by the seat of their pants, which is why it's called that, pantsing. And then you basically just jump into the book and you write it with no plan pretty much, or a very vague plan. And then that's how, I tend to be more of a pantser when I write. I'm like more in the middle, but more of a pantser. So yeah, that's what that means, plotter versus pantser. Alright, and the last one is actually a hashtag, and I want to see if you know what this hashtag is, because I've mentioned it before, but it might be kind of hard. So it is hashtag SFFPIT, which usually most people call it SSFPIT, which stands for something. What do you think it stands for? SFFPIT. What do you think SFF stands for? It's like, it's a genre. Let me give you that.
Science fiction.
And what's the other F?
Fantasy.
Yeah, pitch. So SFF Pit is science, it's sci-fi fantasy pitch, and it's like a Twitter pitch party. I've actually entered it before where you pitch like a little tiny Twitter. It has many characters as you have in Twitter, which I think is now like 280, and you pitch your novel just in that amount of characters with that hashtag, and then agents will like it, and if they like it, you get to send them a special query with the hashtag in the subject line, and it like bumps it up in their inbox. So it's really cool, and pitch parties are really great. Just as a side note, for if you're querying or getting ready to query your novel. But yeah, that's Sci-Fi Fantasy Pit, so that's for writers who have science fiction and fantasy novels to query. So that's why I've entered that, because what lies above is a sci-fi fantasy novel. So yeah, that's it. I think that was almost 20, maybe it was like 19 or 20. But yeah, you actually did really, really good. I thought he wasn't going to do as well, but now I guess he does understand what I'm talking about whenever I'm talking about all my books and all these terms. So some of them were hard, but you did pretty good. So he got a lot of points. Alright, so that's it. We're good. Alright guys, so I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and like I said, comment down below if you've ever heard someone use the word book hangover, or if you know what it is, because it's a real thing, so we can prove him wrong. And I hope, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and seeing Andrew guest star in it again. Like I said, I will link down below to our last video where he guessed the plot of some books by the cover. It is very funny, so you should definitely go check it out. There's some very random stuff on there, like Tinder, clowns, elves, other random things that have nothing to do with books, so definitely go check that out. It is really funny. And like and subscribe if you liked this video, and if you like seeing Andrew. Thanks, Andrew, for joining me again, and I will catch you guys in my next video. As always, all my social media is down below in the description box if you want to go follow me, so go check that out, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye!